Now, this segment is the fastest segment on television. It is our hashtag rapid fire round. We reserve this round each evening to zip through as many trending topics as we possibly can with our expert guest. And tonight, that expert guest is Brittany Pounders from LibertyJuice.com. Brittany, hope you got some Liberty Juice for us tonight.
I'm gonna try.
All right, now the first trending story today, Jennifer Anniston got married over the weekend, but not all of her friends were there. A trending story today is about why Chandler and Joey from the TV show that made her famous were not there. Brittany, why weren't they at the wedding?
Who are these people that care about any of this? I'm feeling so violent towards all of them right now that I'm even having to talk about it. Okay, so it sounds like the girls made the list and Joey and Chandler got shafted. So I guess it could be a number of reasons. Or maybe Brad got custody of them in the last divorce. I don't know. Who cares? It's her wedding. I mean, are we all still intimate friends with those that we worked with 10 years ago? So it's my guess that it's Hollywood. I'm sure they said they'll just make it to her next wedding.
Probably so. All right, David Beckham trending today after he was criticized online for allowing his 4-year-old daughter to suck on a pacifier. Brittany, what do you think of a 4-year-old pacifier? And be careful before you say it, because are you okay with someone nursing at that age too?
To me, that is radically different. I've got 3 kids, and anyone who has dealt with the passy knows that it is a demon to get rid of. We had to invent all kinds of fairy dust and stories and the evolved disappearance of our own passy. So I'm a parent. I get it. The poor kid wasn't feeling well. He gave her a passy, and because some battles just have to be put on hold, he let her go with it. So yeah, she's a little old for the passy, but just to have to deal with the international experts and the outrage weighing in on your parental decisions as something so minor is beyond ridiculous to me.
All right, a story trending today about Green Bay Packers player Jordy Nelson working on the family farm. Pretty cool story. Do tell.
That is a cool story, because too often we see money change people into the worst versions of themselves. So it's refreshing when you see a young man that's less affected by it in a negative way. So this is a guy who clearly sees himself as a farmer, and he just happens to have a talent for football, and his $39 million 4-year contract hasn't changed that. He's a farm boy at heart. He attributes his skills, his abilities back to what he learned growing up on that farm. And so I can imagine how proud his family is to watch his success and see that his heart and the love for his roots just haven't changed.
Sometimes your farm kids grow up to be that, and sometimes they grow up to be Jason, who is really upset about Jennifer Aniston not inviting certain friends to her wedding. So it can happen like that. Another trending story today from the NFL is about New York Jets quarterback who is now injured. But his injury didn't happen in the field. How did Gino Smith break his jaw?
You know, I think the NFL breeds big bucks, big egos, and tiny thinkers that result in situations just like this. It looks like Smith got in a locker room fight with another player over something that is said to be very childish. They haven't exactly said what the altercation is. So he's out for 6 to 10 weeks, and the guy who punched him has been released from the team. It's just one of those stories I'm trying really hard to care about.
All right. Well, you know, we've always got Farmer Jason over here who does care about these stories for some reason, which I don't know. A White House staffer was trending today after she was charged with domestic violence after an altercation with her boyfriend. Tell us.
This lady is a special assistant to President Obama, and so you'd think she'd know better, although many of us have suspected common sense and brain cells don't run real high in this administration. So apparently she grabbed the gun of her Capitol Police officer boyfriend because he wouldn't let her see his cell phone, and she shot a round right next to him into the couch that he was sitting on. So the story has not gotten a lot of press. My opinion is it's probably because it's a protected class. Only a politically connected liberal Democrat in D.C. would get punished with a single and simple unpaid leave after shooting at a Capitol police officer. So I predict it will get quietly swept under the rug and charges will probably be dropped.
Amazingly, you're probably right. Deadliest Catch captain Tony Lara trending today after his unexpected death. Brittany, what do we know that happened?
That's a sad story. I mean, he was only 50 years old and was in South Dakota for a motorcycle rally, just living life. And he died at a private home in the area. It looks like they are waiting to see what the autopsy results are, but from all appearances, it looks like it was a heart attack. So one of those things, God doesn't promise you tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, today the internet is all abuzz with an image of an alien woman that was captured by the Mars rover Brittany. What do you think? Is this picture really an alien woman on Mars?
You know, this is interesting, and if you squint really hard and you look at it from the right angle with a suggestion that it might look like a woman, I think you can make out a figure that resembles one. So, you know, maybe it's Martian. Maybe it's a shadow. I tend to believe it's just a piece of dirt lending some fun to those very active imaginations. Or it could be what we've always suspected, and it's where Nancy Pelosi goes during congressional recess.
Yesterday, we talked about Kylie Jenner's new Ferrari that was a birthday present from her rapper boyfriend, Tyga. And today, Tyga's ex-girlfriend says, ain't no way she's going to keep that car. Brittany, is Tyga really broke?
I have no idea. I'm still just trying to figure out how America has not overdosed from this toxic family yet, and how many people it takes to care about a man named Tyga and a girl named Black China, I think her name is, enough to make some dumb story trend. Apparently, his inability to handle his ex and his money is lending some to this story, and we may just see that Ferrari dragged off in the middle of the night by the repo man. We are holding our breath to find out. Exactly.
Now, her hair turned blonde, sort of, and so speaking of things that turned orange, a river in Colorado turned orange. What happened with that?
This is kind of a maddening story. An EPA crew uncorked a 3 million gallon spill of this orange wastewater from a mine in Colorado that created this hazardous and contaminating mess in the Animas River and turned it this crazy carrot orange. But what I find it further infuriating is that the EPA is not going to be held to the same standards that a private company would be held to.
Of course not.
No. So the cost for this disaster is astronomical. Businesses aren't going to be able to perform. Animals won't have drinking water. Now it's all headed to Utah.
All the way around. All right, Brittany, you can find her at libertyjuice.com. More America Trends. Stay with us.